Good morning, everyone. This is Biz Chicks TV. This is the place to find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business and take the hassle out of your hustle. So, with that, it is Wednesday, and on Wednesday, we get our minds together. We're here with our money mindset coach, Coach Caren all the way from Profits in Daily. Because we need those profits coming in every day. Woo! She's here all the way from Toronto, Canada, to help us get our mindset ready to receive all of the wonderful profits that are ahead of us. Thank you today, Coach Caren, for showing up and showing out. How you doing this morning?
Fantastic. Oh my gosh. What a wonderful intro. Terry, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
It's always good to see you.
Same here. Oh my word. Thank you guys for joining us regularly. And thank you for the replay viewers who pop in and just, give us feedback. Talk to us. This really encourages me when I come to present. And thanks to the Biz Chick for always welcoming me with such open arms every Wednesday. Thank you.
Girl, we love you.
Yes, right back at you. Oh my word, we're in June. We're in June. We're in June. We're in June, the last month of the first 6 months of the year. Yeah,
Yes, it's
yeah.
amazing, isn't it?
Time just goes. Time waits for no one. Doesn't matter what's going on. Time just rally on. Yeah. I like to say currency is both time and money. And when you understand that, start thinking differently about things. Anywho, so this month I started off talking about being a people pleaser and where it started and what have you. And this week we're going to be talking about your year can start anytime.
Oh, I
And
like that.
yes, because it holds people back so much when we are either at the first or second quarter because we are fearful the other half is not going to do well if the first half wasn't prosperous. And we might feel that secretly and tell nobody, but it beats down on us and it rarely take away our prosperity and abundance because we get worried.
Mm.
Worry take away what you would receive because you're spending a lot of negative energy instead of looking at things that is really positive. And it subconsciously it happens, but it tells on you and it wears you down. That's the mindset. So today,
Okay, it does wear you down, girl.
uh, so today we're talking about your year can start anytime. This is so important. This was such, when I did my spring cleaning this year, I was just getting rid of so much stuff and just mentally, physically, I just needed my space cleared out. So I had a lot of things to get rid of. And I was thanking God for the time because I said if anybody was coming in, if anybody we're having people come in to clean, this part wouldn't have gotten done because they come in and clean, but they can't get
Uh-huh.
into my stuff to take out, the stuff that needs to go home and my office area. That things just it's been sitting there for a year and I promise it. I said if I see
Whoa, whoa, whoa! I turned on my phone.
okay.
Sorry, because I wanted to share this out to my group. How you doing this morning? We got some folks in here today.
Hi, good morning. Good morning. Who do we have
Let us
here?
know. Let us know who's watching. Jill's in here. Jill Bernard. How you doing, Jill?
Morning, Jill. Morning, Jill. Yes. And so I said, I need to get rid. If it stayed for a year, this time around, when spring come around and I didn't do anything, I didn't use it, I didn't pay any attention to it, it's not that important.
Oh.
It needs to go. I need to either give it away, it needs to go. So it needs to go in a pile that when we're able to get out there and get things out, it goes because I do 3 to 4 times a year, I gather and get rid of. That's just how I've been doing it because it really helped with clutter. Um, whether it's clothes I'm wearing that I'm now wearing or things that is just sitting around and doing nothing, I find places for them to go. I got
Mm.
some PJs right now to go out to shelters, but I'm waiting on this stuff to fix itself and then I'll be able to get those picked up or I drop them off and then they're out of here. And so, to deal with the clutter because when there's clutter around me, my mind feels cluttered. So I can't handle it. I just don't like it. Just something I don't.
Mm.
All right. So to dive right in, I thought let's look at it this way. Look at your life right now. If you need a do-over, then do it.
Hmm.
Don't tell anybody. Don't be discussing. Don't let them stray you from that. If you feeling that whatever you're doing right now is not in alignment in what you truly want to do, give yourself some space, a week or two, evaluate, set everything down, spread it out, wherever space you can find, your bedroom, the washroom, wherever you have to do it, where there's no other eyeballs watching you. Spread it out and really ask yourself the big questions and allow you to answer it. And don't feel
Mm.
obligated to anybody, whether you got clients or not. If you don't have clients, it's easier, a bit easier on you, but on your subconscious, it's still not because it's still probing you. But if you have clients and you're stepping away from them, then you'll be able to say in the next 6 months, this will no longer be. And I had to do it with my daycare. When I closed my daycare, I had clients and I had to sit them down and say, I'm going to give you time to find new facilities. I'm going to give you 2 months. And everybody was worried, they're like, Karen, you're sick? Oh my God. I'm like, no, I'm not sick. I'm just not doing this anymore. I'm very tired.
God. How about that?
And
Oh my
I
goodness.
love your kids to pieces, and I know
Hey,
it's going to be
Brenna.
hard, right, Brenna? But this specific business has run its course, and no longer. And I'm going
Hmm.
to tell you, a lot of the moms came and they're like, what can we do to help you change your mind? One client said to me, are you looking for more helpers? Because I know people who are looking for jobs. Like, nope, because she was pregnant with twins and she had herself ready for the twins to be enrolled and she was just in panic mood. She said, you're closing, I'm getting twins. Like, I'm sorry, I would have loved to have them, but it's not gonna happen. I'm closing and I'm giving you enough time. And I thought they would have left the same month, but everybody stayed until the bitter end. They did not leave until the door closed.
I'm just saying, yeah, you would think that people would be preparing.
Yeah, nope, they left the week that I closed. That's when everybody left. I think they were still holding their breath that they would have, that I
They
would.
were in denial. They
Yeah,
were in.
yeah. So wherever you are, whatever you need to do. Having said that, if you want to stay where you are right now and it's in alignment, it's what you want to do,
Hmm.
that's okay. Just now look into the areas that is not working, because there's always an area that is really giving you trouble. And you don't have to feel bad about that. You just have to figure out why it's doing this to you and why you're feeling this way about it. And then if you want to
Uh-huh.
stay there, you fix it. You fix whatever leaks it has, whether it's not producing income as you'd like it to be, or it's taking a lot more time than you want it to take, or you're not feeling you're doing a good job, let's say in sales or marketing, then you go and you learn how to do that, or you hire a sales coach that will hold your hand right through the process. Whatever you need to do, you do it and you move on. Let's say you can do that right now. You can't afford to pay anybody right now. It's not in the budget. Then you budget for it so that eventually you could hire that person. But in the meantime, you want to learn all you can freely, YouTube and anywhere else, but be strategic with it. So let's say you were going to YouTube to learn at the moment. Remember, everybody in YouTube is selling something. I don't care if you don't think that they're selling something, they're selling something. You might not grasp yet because you're not their audience, you're not noticing. So whatever they're giving freely, you want to pick 1 to 3 people, and those are the people you want to listen to. You don't want to listen to 20 people because you're going to go crazy and you're going to be in the same boat again. Now, out of those 3 people, you should narrow it down to one person, because you're going to
Hmm.
get to their style, you're going to understand. What it's going to help you do is when you decide to hire a coach, you won't be scattered. You have a roadmap to where you really want to be, and you want that person to take you there. Maybe even the person you listen to on YouTube, you fell in love with and think they can help you. So now you're working towards that, and then you'll notice the shift in your business when you're actually putting in that time and paying attention to all the things that you need to do to get you there. And then If again this was happening, you could pause and you can reopen, pick a new date and reopen that business so that you have a start.
Ah, now Brenda says I can't stand clutter either, but it's always there. I clear it out, it comes back magically. I feel you, Brenda. I,
I
I
hear
have
you, brother.
I I lived in a situation where every time I cleared a spot, people thought that was a place for the new stuff. It's
Thank
like,
you.
no, that is not the purpose of cleaning this spot. It's because I just like it clean.
Right?
I feel you, Britta.
Brother
Oh
girl,
my gosh.
I feel you so much. I had to start making signs like my no excuse sign. I make a lot of those on my trunk. I said, this is not for clothes, it's just for sitting. This is a landing area. This is where you pause. You came up the step, you're tired, you can sit there. Like it's written. I had to get that drastic on my bathroom door. There's a sign also saying certain things. And if I have to call people up about it, I just point to the sign because I was fed up talking about it.
Yeah, it is very frustrating.
It is.
Uh, and I don't know if it's because people think that it magically gets clean because we do it.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Mhm.
I don't know what that's about.
Yeah. They because they are not the person responsible for it. And the second
Hmm.
thing, it's not important in their minds. So because it's not important to them, that's why they do what they're doing. I have to say this to my cleaning clients, like because this is partially one of their complaints about some family member that the house would keep cleaner if X, Y, and Z wasn't happening. And I let them
Hmm.
so we had discussions. I talked to them. They said yes, but they'll go back and do it. But it's not important to them. This part of their lives is
Hmm.
not important to them. Some people you need to let the pocket feel it and it might become important. Or some people you just I had a client, I said, you take bi-weekly clients, maybe you want to start weekly. She goes, Karen, how's that going to work in the budget? I said, well, the people who are making the mess will pay for the 2 weeks that when we are not here, you are doing. So let them pay for the 2 weeks. And
Uh-huh.
you set out the number and you give it to them. She goes, they wouldn't pay it. I said, you give it to them. You see, your expectation was that they wouldn't pay it. The minute she gave it to them, she saw a difference. We did it for 3 months weekly, and then we went back to
Hmm.
bi-weekly because they didn't want to pay, but they started picking up the slack. That was her remedy. And every family is different.
Now that makes sense. That makes sense. People do change their habits based on their budgets.
Mhm. If it's little kids, but it's different, then you have to train them. But adults, no, 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 no. You just make sure that they feel it in some shape or form. But just know you have choices, right? You have
Hmm.
choices. One of the biggest thing before I go on to number two, I will say, if you get on people's backs and you nag them, after a while they tune you out and they can't hear what you're telling them. So nagging doesn't help ever.
Hmm.
Okay. So number two is start where you are with the money you have and count that as your starting year. So if you're starting out, you want to start where you at with the money you have. And that money doesn't have to be just coins, it could be the asset around you. You need to count that as money. That's your asset. So you need to put a price tag on it because when you do, you're able to say, and this is for the people who are now starting or starting over, you're able to say, okay, so my computer cost me $2,000 and my printer is a couple $100. So this is what my business is starting out with. And the reason you want to list all this stuff down is so that you have a reference point to go back to. It's nice to say I want to make $5,000 and $10,000 a month so I could pay my rent and pay for this and that. But you will stay at a 10,000 point if that's all you're doing. But when you understand that you have invested $3,000, $5,000 in your business and you need to pay yourself back that money because that was your personal money that you borrowed to start this business. If you didn't know that, I hope you know that if you had bought a computer and it's for business, a printer, a desk, a chair, it was your startup capital for your business. So I hope you have it in your budget to pay this back to yourself. And you
Mm.
set a schedule in how this is going to be done, whether it's a year or 2 years. and you actually pay yourself it back. And the bigger incentive is make sure you charge yourself some interest so it make
Oh my
you
goodness.
giddy up and do it.
Wow.
I want you to be diligent. If you had borrowed that money from the bank or your credit card, you would pay the interest. You wouldn't think it's bad. You would think, well, it's helping me get to my next point. So why not give yourself that same interest? I really, truly want you to have a leg up. And this is ways that you can give yourself a leg up by allowing you to make money on you because the credit card makes money on you. The
That's
bank makes
true.
money on you. Why you can't make money on yourself? You're your own banker at that point. You loan yourself. When I was
Mm.
taking business classes, me and the professor at the time had it out because she said, you can't pay back yourself. I don't know which line she was in, and I really didn't care because I was speaking up. I was like, the people we are in this class, most people are coming here it's a full program. So most people didn't have jobs, and most people didn't have business like I did. I had two business at the time. And I said, I am taking this time to educate myself in certain areas and I need to know that my business was making money. And I'm investing time. I was investing gas to get there, and I was investing
Hmm.
time away from my business. And so I needed to know that so that I can charge me and what have you. So I said to a lot of people, I said, why aren't we paying back the loans we are borrowing to start our business? She didn't want to discuss it, but it's still my thing. You need to pay yourself back.
Wow. Well, I mean, when you put it in the context of, in general, we would, like you said, we would pay if we borrowed it from another source. We'd pay interest and we'd pay it back timely. Wow. Well, you have some comments here about the clutter. See, let's see. Brenda says, I did that on my counter outside my door. It's in my kitchen. Don't place papers, clutter here. That was 5 years ago. The sign is gone. So I take it it's still working for you, Brenna. Let's see. Nicole says, hi, Nicole.
I
Says,
know.
amen. Habits are definitely changed by your budget. Yeah, money tends to affect change.
Right on, so and rightly so. You know, a friend of mine had bought a salon. And when she was about to buy it, I said to her, don't buy it. But,
Hmm.
she wanted to. So we sat and we crunched the numbers. Like we sat there for days. It took us 2 weeks because I didn't want her to pay what the lady was asking because
Ah,
I saw
okay.
that it
Hey,
didn't.
Claudia.
And
Uh-huh.
eventually we came with the number. She agreed upon it. And some things, even though I told my friend, she said yes to, but the lady didn't sign off some things. And she didn't tell me till after I said, why did you sign it? By the time she showed me, of course, she'd sign it, she'd pay the lady some of the money. What the lady did to her was sneak off and take back some of the clients that was supposed to come along with buying the salon, would do it behind her back.
Wow.
And then she came in a day because she still had a key. That was the other part. She didn't give her both keys. She gave her one key. But give her two keys and had a key.
This
And
person is
came
driving me
back
nuts.
in
Go ahead.
to clear out her stuff and stole a bunch of equipment. Because there's no other way to say it. She stole it because she sold the place already. So you can't go back in and take it.
Yeah.
The third thing she did to her, and this is again because you see the girl didn't listen. I said, we talk about it, plus you need a lawyer because now you had things to go back to, but you didn't do that. So she also didn't let the girl know that the landlord would not really renew the lease. It was a mess, Terry. It was such a mess. My friend lost that salon, lost most of the clients, spent a bunch of money. I mean, it took her a long time to recover. It was hard. So a young artist you were talking about here, a young creative who has sacrificed and worked hard and save up money to buy a place that somebody, and it's an older woman who did it to her, so it was really annoyed. I was a family friend of hers, and she just robbed my friend. There's not a way to say it. She just robbed my friend, blindsided.
Wow.
There's wicked people. So anyway, so you need to know where you're starting back with. You need to know all that stuff. This stuff is important. But Brandon, for you, you girl, I am a sign writer. My family members don't necessarily like it. I don't really care.
Hmm. Hmm. Brenda says, "Oh, sneaky and no integrity." Yeah, we
No
talked about
integrity.
integrity the other day.
Yeah, no integrity, no integrity. And I think the reason my friend said, no, I think my friend says kind of reason I didn't think of doing all this stuff and I didn't think she would have done it. She's a Christian. She goes to church with my dad. Like I couldn't believe she would do this. This is my dad's childhood friend. They went to school,
Wow.
high school together. Like, oh, yeah,
Whew.
integrity, integrity, integrity. So beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so moving along. So number three, if you're not already open, and again, this is for the people who are not ready open. Pick an opening date and work towards it. Don't be in a hurry. I just wrote a blog talking about doing things very slowly. Don't be in a hurry. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you need the next 6 months to open your business. It's okay. It doesn't matter who's opening right now what they're doing. If you are not ready, wait and put everything in place that you need to put in place. You don't want to feel hurried up. You don't want to feel like somebody's pushing you along and you're not ready yet to be there. You want to take time and get you there. So move backward, set an opening date, and then work towards it. And if you're there already and you really and truly want to do a flip and start over, same goes. I mean, you have experience now, you have some things that you know. So your opening date might be closer than the person who's brand new and starting out. So you set an opening date. 6 months is not unrealistic to get yourself all sorted out to really start a profitable business. I'm not talking about starting a business. I'm talking about a profitable business. 6 months is not unheard of. It allows you to feel your feelings, find you, and do what you know you need to do. Not what anybody else needs to do, what you need to do. You need the time. When the tortoise and the hare is no joke. It is no joke. People should really pay attention to that scenario. The hare hurried up and then he's tired. He had to stop and rest. And the tortoise just passed him by.
Mm-hmm.
When you hurried up, you're too hurried, so you miss a lot of things. When you take things slowly in the beginning, even though it feels like it's taking forever, your brain is adjusting to your pace and your speed, and you gradually build up. So it's a less fight on your mental capacity. It is a less fight
Mm.
to allow you to pivot and keep moving up. You're not overloading it with stuff. It's not good to overload it with stuff. If you have the experience in something, you still want to stretch out the time. You still want to pay attention to how you're doing it and how you are feeling and how you work with it. You've got to know these things. And you got to learn them if you don't know them so that you can do really, and I repeat, so that you can start and run a profitable business. You start a business, 6 months, you check in and you say, where am I? What I want to do? How am I doing? Financially, physically, emotionally, mentally, how am I doing? What's happening?
Mm.
Those are important, marks. Then the next 3 months, you check again. It's not only the money. The money is so important, but the mindset, wins that big time because that's going to keep you and help you keep churning along.
Well, I want to ask our viewers: have you experienced a situation where you didn't take enough time to launch something? So you're scrambling, or you're you have anxiety about it, or you know what I mean, because you're trying to do it on a timeline that is not comfortable for you.
Yes.
You're
Not
trying to
alignment.
accelerate something. Yes. So if you have, just put a one in the chat so we
Mhm.
know we're talking to you,
Yeah.
because I've experienced that where someone said, "Oh, you ought to be doing this, you ought to be doing that," and so I'm trying to get it done at an accelerated pace when in fact I should have taken my time, learned more about it, so that once I was into it, I was more comfortable. Um,
Yeah. And you
and I,
get it done. You get it done.
yeah,
We had this family friend, and everybody's call her Aunt Dinah, and she was a seamstress. But I admired this lady to no ends. I mean,
Brenda,
she get up in the
Brenda
day,
put her one in the chat.
she get up in the day and she sews, and then around 2, it didn't matter who you were when you go to Aunt Dinah, she is taking a nap. She is in her, she had an annex, she used to call it. So this was her sewing room. And right next to her sewing room was a tiny bedroom with a bed and a nightstand. That's all it had in there, which means she'd lie down with a glass of water. That's it. Nothing else is in there. And she would go in there and rest. And as her business began to expand, she'd hire her sister so that comes in and cook the food, and then she'd hire another lady to come in and clean the house. But so she was focused. And then when 6, 7:30 reached, she's off the bed because she got up really, really early in the mornings to
Mm-hmm.
start her sewing. So she had like 2 times a day that she rested. And that didn't change. If you needed a dress to be finished, it didn't really matter because that schedule was not going anywhere.
She did not violate her own schedule. I
Mm-mm.
like that.
Mm-mm, kid was not going, and she had a husband that had a stroke that was bedridden. Something else was wrong with him too, beside the stroke, and so everything clocked around that. And she also got a helper in to help her with him because she stick to it. And I was a chatterbox. I was a child, and I would go, "Aunt Dinah, Dinah, what are you doing?" She says, "Karen, you know it's 2 o'clock. You can sit in the living room and hang out." And she used to talk so quiet and softly. She said, "You can sit in the room and hang out until I wake up, or you can come back when I wake up." But if you caught her at 2, that was it. It didn't matter. But mom sent me for, she goes, "Karen, it's 2 o'clock."
Because you also train people how to treat you.
True.
If she had a regular brick and mortar, she just put a sign on the door, you wouldn't be able to come in.
Exactly. Exactly. And people used to laugh. I remember people saying, "Wait until she go to the States. She gonna can't do that." She was living in the States for years. I heard she didn't change a thing. She went up there and she did the very same thing. She had her timeline. She tell you when you can reach her, and if you call within that time, she wouldn't answer the phone.
There you go. So I think we've all been pressured into to doing something at one point or another in our business or in our life that we just weren't ready for, but
Hmm.
we did it because someone felt we needed to do it right now.
Yes, 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 yes.
Hmm.
And it really makes your brain get anxious. It tells
Hmm.
you, I can do this because it's really saying to you, "Hey, you're doing enough right now. Don't add anything more to your plate."
Okay.
Hold up, take some rest, and if that means for you, sometimes we work from home people kind of feel guilty with certain areas. If that means you need to watch a comedy show, take that half an hour and laugh a bit. Go watch something funny and laugh a bit, or watch a cartoon movie. Don't get anything too intense. Watch something that's going to make you loosen up and not feel so pressured, and you can do this, and it's okay. And if somebody in your household come in and saw you watching cartoons and they say, "I thought you were supposed to be at work," you said, "I am at work. This is my rest part of my work."
Hmm.
Don't feel guilty in letting them know this is my rest part of work. And you have to be able to say these things, because I work from home for years, so I can tell you, people give you a hard time when you work from home because they don't think you're doing a lot of work.
They don't think you're at work. They
Mm-mm.
disrespect it. It's very disrespectful.
Yes,
Uh,
yes. They will walk in, they will talk to you. If you're watching a video or you're doing anything, it's like, well, it's no big deal. I mean, it's not like I heard this. It's not like you're selling, it's not like anybody's paying you for that information you're doing right now. Because they're so used to going to work, and the boss says, "For these next, 7, 8, 9 hours, here's what you do," and they're churning away. When they see you doing this, they don't understand. But when you work from home, you need a lot of rest spots, and here's why. You work 3 to 4 times harder than the person
mm,
in a 9 to 5. And I can say this, and I don't care who disagree. I can actually say this because I worked, 12-hour shifts, 8-hour shifts, whatever. And you do more when you work for yourself because you fill in a lot of gaps that
hmm.
automatically happens in your brain, and you think you have to do it until you settle down and say, "I will not." But when you're starting out and when you get comfortable in your routine, you fill in a lot of gaps that you're not
Hmm.
supposed to. So you work double the time. It's like kids who get a homeschool. Everybody know if you homeschool your kids, you can do it in 3 to 4 hours. School take 8. The same thing happen at work. When you're in your business and you learn and you understand after a year or two what you need to do, your business don't need 8 hours anymore. But the reason we're in it for 8 hours now is because we're busy doing all kind of busy things that people
Mm,
have put upon us in our household or ourselves call it to us. And that's why I started. That's what caused me to do the 4 hour work days, because you don't need the time. You need the other hours to elevate yourself, educate yourself, and learn whatever you need to learn, so that you don't fill it with the laundry and the cooking and whatever it is that you fill it with instead of your work, because people
mm.
have pressed upon you that you've got the time, and you've told them you got the time.
Yes,
Can't tell
we
them.
did.
So that's what I got for you today. If you guys have any questions for me, don't be afraid. Drop it in the comments below.
Okay.
But
No,
let me
but,
do
but but Brenna did say, she has experienced this. I think there are very few of us who haven't experienced it.
it.
Um, so you were saying we need to set up an opening date. Make sure that let me post this. This is what I wrote. Set an opening date and give yourself enough time.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
if you're doing a reset, give yourself enough time to do the reset and schedule a date to have it finished. Is that what I hear you saying?
Yes. Schedule a day to have it open.
Open, yeah.
Opening your business to the world, set up a date. So, let's say you're opening, I don't know, in September, and we're in June. So we got July, August, September, and you're opening in sometime in September. Everything you do is towards September. So like 2 weeks before opening date, you got 14 days. You start announcing I'm opening on this date, or even a month before. And you start giving people a little taste of what you're going to be opening to, and getting feedback, getting experience. Don't be shy, be at it. Like, we relentlessly telling people about it. Be joyous about this. Be happy that you're sharing this adventure with them. Don't look at it as you're selling them something. You're sharing this adventure with them. You're going to do this together, okay? And your opening
Mhm.
date. And here's the special for your opening date. And let people come in and taste it. Let people come in, whatever it is you are choosing to do, let them come in and experience it on this date. Go get some balloons, or if you got some at home, blow them up, get up a sign. You're working from home, but make the atmosphere feel like if you were going into an establishment and do this. So really celebrate the day and mark it down in your calendar, mark it down everywhere you can, so that when next year September come around, you will be celebrated, and people will remember you that you celebrated in 2020 September, the 15th of September. And not everybody's going to remember, but there's people who's going to remember. Or they're going to say, her business is a year old already. Could you imagine what I could have done if I had done something too? Like, it
Mm,
spur people on, give them the interest. They might want to hire you or ask you how you did, or have a conversation with you. Make sure in that time also you're looking for podcasts and interviews, so that you can have other people, audience, know that you're opening. Don't be shy about these things, making sure that you're having this open date happen, and anybody who would be interested in what you have will be reached.
wow. Well, Brenna has this comment. She says, during the last depression, 2009, we invested money into my jewelry business. My husband and I learned from the videos I bought, then paid and scheduled vendor events. We went on Etsy. It cost more money than expected. I never ran a business, but I needed to feed my family. I have two in my mind. Wake up, what's it? Wake up at
Wait for
4, paid that money, set up the booth. When alone, you don't have second eyes to watch. I had a few thieves, even a state worker. The karma I have is intense. That's all I could rely on. Mm,
Hmm.
wow.
That's a
So she
mouthful,
went,
Brent.
yeah, I think we've all been through that as solopreneurs. Um, I'm feeling you, Brenda, and I'm feeling, I don't know if I want to go back to business as usual after things begin to open up. I may continue to just do online. I don't know if I'm going to do vendor events. It's a lot
It's a lot. I
physical.
know. It's a lot.
It's
It's seriously a lot. Hmm.
a lot of
Hmm.
physical
Yes.
labor. But yeah, I understand. And so these are all things that weigh on us. Isn't
Hmm.
that what you're saying, Caren? As we try to get things done, and we need to give ourselves ample time.
Yes, you really and truly do. I spend a lot of time giving myself the time. I braid my own hair, and it takes me a while to get it done, and I
Mhm.
never feel like I am taking away time from me, because when I'm braiding, I allow myself some mental time. I
Mm.
use it as my way of enjoying me, and loving what I'm doing for me, and I know why I'm doing it for me, so I would go spend the time sitting in the salon if that's what I wanted to do. But they're done, but I like the way I'm doing it, so I do my own hair, not because I can't pay
Mhm.
somebody to do it, because I want to do it. So this kind of stuff don't affect me, because most things I do for myself.
She
And
says,
so,
I love my skill and I'm just putting it online. If you need help with your Etsy shop, let me know, Brenda. I know someone who did very well over there on Etsy. Okay.
mhm, yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, girl. But it hurt when those things happen to you in the past, and it leaves a
Hmm.
sore spot, a sore taste in your mouth. Because we do invest money to start our business. Brenda says she bought videos, and she looked at those videos. Those videos cost her money and
Hmm.
time. So
Time.
money and time. Currency is about money and time. I always say currency is about money and time. Okay.
Yes.
All
All
righty.
right, Daddy.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I just want to say we got a mouthful today. We got an earful today, rather. Uh, my goodness. Yeah. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself enough time.
For
Thank
sure.
you so much, Karen, for giving us permission to give ourselves time.
Yes, you need it. You do what you gotta do, guys. You do what you gotta do. Nobody coming to tell you it gotta be done yesterday and you're now ready. You know.
Wow, wow. So with that, I just want to remind everybody that tomorrow is Thursday. We'll be here with Happy Healthy Habits with Robin Shimizu and friends. Um, Friday, we'll be talking tech and English. Remember, we're here every morning, 8 o'clock Pacific time, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, helping you run a profitable business. It's fun to run. Coach, we thank you so much. If you're looking for Coach Caren, you can find her at Profits in Daily everywhere on the web. Um, so we're asking that you take the time to find Coach Caren. She has a group. Tell us about your group, Coach, so we can
My group
go join the group.
is Entrepreneur for Profiting Daily. It's in there. As I just mentioned, I taken a break, so I'm now getting back in there slowly, where I talk a lot about business building, a lot about your mindset, a lot about, and the new series is going to be a lot about profits in daily and how that works, and what happens, and all those little sneaky hidey things that make us not function to our full capacity. I rarely get in and talk about those things, because whether we like it or not, and people said, well, we don't care about that. Your feelings really dictate how you behave in your business. It just does. That's why people don't like budget, because it makes them feel confined. It makes them feel like you don't have to do it. I've heard people say, I hate budgeting, who are business people, but they will eventually understand why they need to budget it, because if they don't, and they're not following their money, they're not watching their money, business just don't make any more money.
Wow, wow. Well, guys, if you are interested in joining Biz Chicks, just text Biz to 33777 and and you'll be prompted to answer the questions and to join Biz Chicks. If you're looking to join the Biz Chicks group, please answer all of the questions. If you've not heard from us, it's probably because you didn't answer all the questions that we ask in order to put you in the group.
Right.
So don't get offended because you didn't hear from us. You didn't respond properly. So could you go back and take another look at that? Because we'd love to have you.
Right.
With that, we just want to say, don't forget
To
to
go
go
to
to the front of your own line. Thanks again, Coach.
you're
Have a
welcome.
great day. Bye bye, everybody.